Hello, thank you for clicking on my channel, and I will be giving a expert breakdown of why I feel Elon Musk has been activated. So in recent days, maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't, that Elon Musk really has been going in on Muslims and grooming gangs, and he's kept it very direct. The number one issue is Muslims, and if you look at all his posts, they're kind of like he's decided to be there's three main religions in the world, and he seems like he's kind of made his decision on which ones he likes and which ones he doesn't like. Okay, so that's just the reality of it. But let's think as to why this is happening, because yeah, this is very important to think why is this happening. Well, let's start with that. Back about a year or two ago, I think about a year ago, there was this time when he's just like, oh, he was sitting somewhere and he's just like, oh, you think you want to come after me and you want to come after my company and you think you're going to blackmail me? Well, fuck you. That's what he said on this thing. Like, he said something like that in an interview. Go look it up, where he basically is just kind of like speaking into thin air. He's just like, yeah, like whoever's trying to screw with me and trying to shut my business down or something like that. So you could tell that there was something in the background like screwing with him or whatever. Then he goes and he starts going on trips to Europe, and people think that that's where he was obviously scared or something happened to him where he's been different ever since. So right now, you have to think that a person like that, a guy like that, they know exactly what they're doing. They know how it looks to investors. They know how it looks to foreign countries. They know how it looks. And now all of a sudden, the hate is there so much. So I think it's more interesting as to the timing. Personally, I feel like certain religions probably have been contacting him. The ADL's probably been contacting him and been saying like, hey man, like you have a lot of anti-Semitical stuff online, you have a lot of this, you have a lot of that. And I think that in order for that country to allow him to do what he's doing, like without shutting him down, so he has to like deflect a lot of energy to be like, no, everyone gets bothered, everyone gets hated on, no one's untouchable. So then you have now Mark Zuckerberg saying like, oh yeah, I'm now down with ending all the censorship stuff, and now I'm working with Dana White. But what you have to remember about that is that Mark Zuckerberg had Donald Trump blocked on Facebook and Instagram, I think. So you have people that like have really weird relations with these politicians. And I don't think that this is simply as simple as, they're bought off, or they bought the politicians off. I think it's more like these tech companies, they can really bring a lot of PR to you. They can really sink you. So I think that puts Elon in a different position, that he has to, with this mass spam, with all this type of talk that goes on Twitter, he has to offset. He has to offset and make sure he doesn't want getting his company shut down. That's what it is. So he also, you have to think about it for a second. All of a sudden he was down before with the Indian H-1B visas. And the thing about the H-1B visa is that that's not the most elite of the elite specialized workforce, skilled workers. That's not what that is. So the highest level people that want to come from India, that's a whole separate category. H-1B, the way they're making it seem is that like it's kind of like a meh kind of position. So he has such good working relations with Indians, but he's just noticing a lot about how Muslims are just so bad. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not about being angry. It's about like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right? So I wouldn't say like, oh, he's Islamophobic, but he definitely is being something. He's definitely doing something. I'm not saying that like, oh my God, he should be censored, but he's also censoring other people too. So he took away a lot of people's check mark on X, Myron, Jake Shields. And now if you go even a layer further, is that a lot of people have been saying that a lot of the main theory is out there is that Twitter, X, is like a honeypot thing. It's out there for you to talk shit, say dumb things, and then them be able to come after you later on. So I think that with the way Elon's going, the way everything's going, I think that Twitter, with Donald Trump, with everything, will be positioned to be like I think it's called WeChat in China, what's the everything app, where everything is on there. And now there's also this weird thing now you can type in what's my Grok score on X, and it basically will tell you your Grok score, and it's basically like your social credit score. I tried it, but it didn't work. It said something about like, oh, we can't display this or give that out or whatever. But I think that there's way more going on. There's way more going on beneath the surface. I think it's about blackmail. I think that also, in order to keep sponsors and keep this and keep that, he has to show that he's safe and that he's malleable and that he's down to be a team player with them. So that's kind of where I stand with Elon Musk. I don't like the guy at all. And from now on, I would definitely never want to own a Tesla vehicle, because when someone's so weird like that and they have all this hate, if something happened later on down the road and you're driving and then the car just does something weird, you would always have it in your mind, like, what the hell, right? So, yeah, I think that's enough. I think that's enough of gonna be buying any Tesla products. That's over. But I think that the timing of the activation of hate is the most important thing. I don't think it's anything to be overly offended by, but it is definitely enough to be like, oh, I see how this is. I see that there's a team element here. And in any team situation, there's a good guy and a bad guy. So I see that all of a sudden now we're getting very binary. So, yeah. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.